But we do have puppies here today. And Luna messed up the bed right before I started filming because a bark box came in today, and so if you hear a lot of chomping, it's because of that. Stella's got a toy. She's on the floor chewing on her bone, and Luna has been chewing on this one for a couple minutes, but she does not seem to like it nearly as much as the fish one that Stella stole. So, we will see. She's chewing on it again. But I am coming at you live. Not really. I'm coming at you from my guest room again. There's still a ton of advent calendar, countdown calendar yarn in my office. So until I get those kind of like packaged up and out of there, we will be continuing from here. This episode, to be honest, will probably be kind of on the shorter side. I don't have a lot to talk about this week. This week is all knitting. I have not done any stitching or any sewing. We do have a puppy in frame. Let's take a moment. He's so good, just because this week has been all over the place. I went on a group outing with the Knitters Guild here in Chattanooga to have a knit out at Eat Sleep Knit on Tuesday. So that was an all-day thing, and I did get a little bit of knitting done there. I don't know why I'm holding that sock up. I did get a little bit of knitting done there, but that was like kind of it. I was one of the designated drivers for that, so didn't get to sit and knit in the car or anything like that for 3 hours, because it's about an hour and a half to get to Dallas, Georgia and back up here. But I do have one half finished object to share with y'all this week. We have another half finished sock. This is just some vanilla shorty socks that I am knitting for my brother-in-law. This is out of my Anime Yarn Club colorway from our first month running. This is Moon Prism Power from, it's a, my gosh, my words are getting all jumbled. It is a Sailor Moon inspired colorway called Moon Prism Power. And we love it. It's looking very cute. My initial plan was to put kind of the flashing on the top of the sock, and then when it came time to add my afterthought heel in, your girl forgot her plans. But it is fine. I think they still look great all the same. But yeah, so we did a short little 2-row contrast for the cuff, contrasting heels and toes. My preferred method for socks is a cut-in afterthought heel. That is a true afterthought heel. I typically plan where the afterthought heel is going to go as I knit, but there is no lifeline. I follow the Kirby Warby's afterthought heel tutorial on YouTube, and now it is second nature and very easy peasy. I do basically what I do for a toe, again for the heel, and it works out pretty good so far. These are for my brother-in-law, who is a size 13 men's, and these technically fit my husband, who is a size 14 men's, so hopefully they're not too big on my brother-in-law. I will probably, when I wash and block them, potentially block them on my sock blockers, which are a good bit smaller, just to help make sure that the stitches look nice without stretching the sock out too much. We'll see. I will not be blocking these socks until both of them are finished and stuff. So goal is to get these done by September 12th, ideally earlier than September 12th, but that is because I will be going on a trip with my husband's side of the family, and that's when I will see my husband's brother and his family next. So ideally, I would like to have these done by then. I also need to get a pair of baby socks done by then for my mother-in-law, for a friend of hers who is having, I think, a grandbaby. So that is the plan. But my current plan for casting on in regards to all of these 3 pairs of socks are, first up, I'll be casting on the second sock for these 2 socks. So this is the socks that I am knitting, or these are the socks that I'm knitting for my dad. This is my Mermaid Tails colorway. It is gorgeous. I absolutely love it. And again, another pair of shorty socks. My dad is not a big sock wearer. He tends to rock loafers without socks and tennis shoes without socks, but he does sleep in socks. So that is what these socks are going to be for. And primarily during the winter time. It's the only time he really cares to wear socks anyways. So these might be more for when he comes and visits me and my sister, since my sister's in Virginia and I'm in Chattanooga, so it's a lot colder than South Florida. So I'm going to cast those on in tandem with my socks, which these are my Cabin in the Woods colorway from my summer camp collection. So Cabin in the Woods, free swim, contrasting heel, toes, and cuffs. And my ultimate goal, hopefully, will be primarily work on my dad's socks and get about halfway done with my pair of socks. And then cast on Dustin's second pair of socks. And by the time I finish Dustin's socks, hopefully have the second half to this pair, or the second sock of these, done by then. That's the goal. We shall see. I have always very lofty knitting plans, and then my attention span thwarts those plans. So that is the sock knitting that is going on. I am just going to quickly show my habitation throw because I have not done much work on this. I don't think I've worked on this at all since the last episode, and that's just because it's getting big. It was big to begin with, and it's even bigger now. And I'm going to probably move this into a basket and out of the kitchen clutter bag that I have it in right now, which it does still kind of fit in. It's just a pain in the butt to pull in and out of this bag. So I think if it's in an open basket, I'll have an easier time kind of reminding myself to pick it up and work on it. But so that's kind of been languishing the past week as I have worked to finish my brother-in-law's socks. So another thing that has not got a ton of work done on it, but we have finished a rather small section in this particular project. This is my, oh, we're about to lose a stitch. There we go. This is my 8 Girls Best Friend shawl. This is a pattern by Isabell Kraemer. I've knit this before. This is my second time making this particular pattern, but this time around I am knitting it out of my own yarn. This is all Stella Luna Fiber Co, and all of this is on my BFL sock base, but the colors go Divination. And then let's see, there we go. That darker purple right there is Familiar, and then this is Grimoire. So where I am at now, I think last time I showed this, I had finished the Familiar Pearl Ridge that's here and just started on this stockinette section. It's a very small stockinette section. It's only about, I think, 4 rows. And then now I'm at the point where I need to add another row of Familiar, and then we'll be going on to a larger section of this teardrop pattern. It will quit focusing on my face. There we go. So I think the next section is 5 repeats of the teardrop pattern versus this section being 3. And we are obviously in a significantly larger section of, or we are at a larger number of stitches on the needles now. I'm at a point where I probably need to shift this over to a longer cable needle, which should not be hard, just because this is, my stitch dropped. Anyways, these are on some ChowGoo interchangeables, so I might just do one of the joins and add on a little bit more of a longer needle to this, just because I don't want to use my big cable just yet, because that will, I kind of want to save that because I do want to cast on some of my garment plans here really soon, and I want to save that particular cable for when I cast on garments. But that is happening. That is living in a By the Bay Bag Co. bag, which I know I didn't mention earlier in terms of bags that things are in. My dad's socks are living in this Mountain State Stitches bag, which was from this is one of the bags that came out with Summer Sock Camp 2022, when the Crazy Sock Lady had like kind of a shop and stuff. And then my socks, the Cabin in the Woods socks, are living in this cute little summer camp themed Nitty Nelly bag. And then the socks I'm knitting for my brother-in-law are in this other kind of space themed Nitty Nelly bag that felt very appropriate. And then last but certainly not least in the knitting department, and this will kind of segue us into my up and coming collection, is my Bennet sister shawl. This is a pattern that I have knit before in the past. I have knit this out of BFL Fiber Co's Elizabeth Bennet sister shawl kit, and I absolutely loved it, and that was a couple years ago, so I decided probably at the beginning of the summer, I think. I'll have to go and double check dates there, but not that long ago I casted this on. I've not been steadily working on this until recently, but we are close to being done with section 1. There are 4 sections total to this particular shawl pattern. So this is one edge of the shawl, and you are slowly increasing along the one side down into a point. Once I finish section 1, I will start adding it's like a stockinette triangle that moves up as you continue to increase down towards the middle of the shawl. And then you do the same thing but in reverse for the second half. And you have a beautiful knit I-cord edge on both sides. And then on the second half, you add in a lace weight fluffy yarn of kind of your choosing. The pattern calls for mohair silk, but I'm pretty sensitive to mohair, so I will be adding in a skein of Suri alpaca, so my Suri cloud base, again in the same color. So as I don't think I've said yet, but this currently is my gold sparkle base. It's just not showing up as super sparkly right here, but when I hold up the color in the skein, you can see it's very sparkly. But this is my Sassenach colorway. And I mentioned last episode that I will be coming out with a collection here shortly. By the end of August, I will be coming out with a collection called Into the Highlands, an Outlander inspired collection. It's a mouthful, but just think of it as Into the Highlands. And if you like Outlander, it's Outlander themed. So very, very exciting. But we're making good progress on this. I'm just knitting on this like a couple rows at a time. And since we're about to come up with the colorways, I am obviously more motivated to knit on it. But to start showing you the colorways, we have a lot. It's 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. Yeah, we have 9 beautiful colorways. And I am obsessed with this collection. I am so excited. I want to knit all the things out of these, and my sister is going to Scotland in September, and I'll be sending her some of the yarn to go and knit some things and take pictures while she's in Scotland. So very, very exciting. I'm going to start off by showing these two together. So this is Sassenach, you can see, and then this is Moody Sassenach. And I just want to show it here where they're both together because you can see that they are different. At least I hope you can tell that they're different. Moody Sassenach is a good bit darker. I go a little bit heavier on the dye, and I go a little bit heavier on one of the dark blues that I used to get this color. So want to show those together so you can see that they are different colors. And then, so we have Moody Sassenach, Sassenach. This is Sea to Sky, which is an absolutely gorgeous variegated tealy blue with some really fun little brown speckles. And this is just gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. This colorway is Mist on the Henge. This is very sagey, spearminty, pale green with a little hint of kind of blue in there. It's gorgeous. This is the color that I want to knit the Keats hat out of. I mentioned that last episode. So the Keats hat is a pattern by Suri Nordland, and it's like a beautiful kind of cabled textured hat. And I think it will make for a very beautiful hat, at least on me. So we love her a lot. Next is my most recent, I just recently dyed this up this week and am thoroughly obsessed. I even got my nails painted to match. So this is Into the Highlands, and this is like the most perfect bottle green. I want everything out of this colorway. I want garments, I want shawls and cowls, I want hats, I want socks, I want everything out of this particular color. I'm in love. So there might be a potential something on the way in terms of a new whip. Not that I need any new projects to work on, because I also have some acquisitions at the end of this. Next up, this is Healer, which is this beautiful, soft, variegated periwinkle purple color with some gorgeous, soft blue leaning periwinkle spots. I love this. This for some reason reads as a colorway that my niece would really like, even though currently her favorite color is yellow. But she also just likes all the colors. So I will be knitting her a hat for Christmas this year. That is the only gift knitting that I am really doing once we get a little bit closer to the holidays. I'll be knitting her a hat. I'll be knitting her a yellow hat. But maybe what I'll do is add a little pop of purple for fun. Maybe out of this? I don't know. My sister-in-law just told me that something that Ellie would really probably need for the winter time is a hat. And since I knit, she asked if I could knit my 3-year-old niece a hat. So I will probably be doing that. And maybe what I'll do is I'll do a pop of purple on the cuff or on the brim. So like when it folds up, it's like just a little pop along the brim, and then everything else will be like a really pretty yellow color. We'll see. This is Gift of Amber. And I might knit something for Brandon out of this color at some point. I've knit him a pair of socks out of a similar color when we first started dating, well before I started dyeing. So it's yarn from a different dyer, but it's very similar, and I haven't knit him anything out of my own hand-dyed yarn yet. And it's just because like I've knit him I've knit him 3 pairs of socks, and I've knit him 1 hat and stuff. But he gets warm very easily. He's a big guy. He puts off a lot of heat on his own. So he doesn't want me to knit him any kind of garment, so like no sweaters or anything like that. And he's not a scarf wearer typically, unless it's like there's actual snow on the ground and it's very cold and potentially actively snowing. That's like the only time you can get him to wear a scarf. And I've knit him, oh, and I've knit him a scarf. So I might knit him a hat potentially out of this, and then it will kind of match the socks that I knit him, but then they won't be like right next to each other. So since the colors are different, it won't be like super glaringly obvious as if it was something that like put them in close proximity to each other that they're different. But anyways, that was a off-topic tangent. This next one, the last 2 in general, are more neutral colors. I like to have a neutral component in a lot of my collections just because it makes for easy kind of pairing sometimes. But this is Bone of My Bone. So this is like a variegated and speckled colorway. Let's see, where are the, trying to find a speckly spot. You can see it here just a little bit. But this is like a very cool toned kind of gray beigey brown variegated. I used to, in college, I took archaeology classes for a little bit, and one of the archaeology classes I had was a zoo archaeology class, which meant we were playing around with bones in a lab as part of our class requirements. And so like when you're looking at older bones that are, oh, you just knocked the tripod, Stewie. Oh hi. Oh hi. Oh, you want booty scratches. Booty scratches again. Oh, the booty scratches for the Stewie. Anyways. Old bones that are fully dried out and have been out in nature, like deer bones and stuff like that, kind of take on this sort of color. So that's, oh, hi, here's the other girly. Step here. Say hi. You are so silly. So I thought that was perfect for doing a Bone of My Bone colorway. This is Through the Stones, which, let's see, this might be hard to kind of see because I am wearing gray right now, but this is like a really beautiful kind of steeled blue gray, so much cooler toned than Bone of My Bone, very silvery in color, and it's definitely not the same because like these are quite blued gray in person. This is very different from my Frost colorway or my Silver Fox colorway. So, oh, are you laying on the yarn? You're so cute. Yes, you're so cute. Oh, thank you. Give me kisses. But that is the Into the Highlands collection. And now my hand is slobbery, thank you. But I think that's it. Now on to acquisitions. It's not a lot of acquisitions. It's only two yarns. I have a couple skeins of each. But we will start off with this one because this one's a little bit more, I guess, traditional. This is Harrisville. Well, hopefully she's done. The neighbor had cleaning ladies over, and the girlies are not a fan. Anyways, so this is Harrisville Designs. This is the Highland. So this is their worsted base. This is in the colorway Suede. I love it. I got 3 skeins of this to potentially make a kind of sleeveless cardigan vest. I want it to be something that buttons down the front and is a good layering piece. So I got this. I've not landed on a design yet. I have something kind of envisioned in my head, so we'll see if I find something that fits or if I'm just gonna kind of wing something. But I got 3 skeins of this, so hopefully that'll be enough. If not, you know, I will place an order with Eat Sleep Knit. So I forgot to say this. I know I mentioned this earlier. We went to Eat Sleep Knit on Tuesday. I did buy this at Eat Sleep Knit, and I also bought the other yarn that I have from Eat Sleep Knit. Shh. She's not coming over here, guys. Stella is sitting like one of those little statue guard dogs on the floor staring out the window. I don't know if I can, let's see. She looks really silly. Super cute, but they don't need to be barking at the cleaning ladies because they aren't coming over here. Anyhow, second skein, or not skein, but second yarn I bought is this Flet Bulky from Woolfolk. So this is some super squishy, beautiful, bulky weight boucle, and it is so stinking soft. And I was like, I saw this and I loved it, and I decided, I was looking through patterns and I found something that I like, but I might kind of wing what it is that I want. But there is a pattern by, I think it's My Favorite Things, and it's like a cowl, but it has like a split hem style detail on both sides of the cowl and stuff, so it kind of turns into a little bit of like a really short dicky, so it like only comes to about here, and it's ribbed and stuff, and it's really pretty, and I really liked how it looked. But I might kind of wing it because I might do something a little bit different, but I like that kind of split hem dicky look that particular pattern had, and I can't remember what the pattern is called, but I do know it was My Favorite Things. But I thought this would be really great. You know, I'm always looking for like nice layering pieces for walking the fluffy girls here, and stuff, especially when it gets cold here. I do have like a big puffy jacket, and you know, if it's really cold, I do zip it up all the way, but that's not always super duper comfortable. So I like having cowls and scarves that I can layer under my big jacket that I can leave the jacket just a little bit open in the front. Hi, still. But that is the plan for those 2 yarns. And you know, if you're interested in all of my kind of future plan knitting, go watch the last episode. That is kind of what I cover at the end of that particular episode. So and there's a lot there and stuff. There's lots of projects planned for this fall, and we'll see if I can get them done in a timely manner and stuff so I can actually wear them. But thank y'all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I'm aiming to be back again next week. I'm trying to get on a good schedule of filming weekly. So, and I just had a big yarn order come in, so there might be a lot to talk about next week. It's not in an acquisition kind of way, it's more in a potential event in the future kind of way. So, but thank you so much, and I hope y'all have a wonderful weekend or whatever day you end up watching this on. Hopefully this will be uploaded tomorrow, which is Friday. Bye-bye.